Hello everyone, this is Cold Breaks, Splash and Go, Episode 6. It is Wednesday, July 10th, 2024, and be sure to stick around for the photo of the day at the end of this video. So one of the reasons I got into the European car repair was so I could acquire and maintain a BMW E30, like a 3 Series from the 80s, and the first one I got was actually from an owner who'd taken it to a different shop, and it just didn't run right. But it ended up being taken to motorsports, and which happened a lot in our town. If somebody couldn't figure something out, it ended up at our shop. But so we switched out a lot of different parts in that car. We had a spare ECUs and O2 sensors and airflow meters, and we just did as many tests as possible on it, and we still couldn't get it to run right. And this particular model was a 87 325 ES, which had what they called the ETA motor, which made more torque than power, and it was kind of thought of as like a economic fuel saver engine. It was a two-door manual with limited slip differential and sport seats and front air dam, and a rear spoiler from the factory. And this particular car was pretty worn out. I think it had a little bit of body damage in the rear quarter, and suspension was definitely really worn out. So the reason why it didn't run right, we couldn't figure it out. But the symptom was that it would run really rich at times, and after trying to diagnose it, we decided that we were going to have to throw a wiring harness at it or something like that, and the car just wasn't worth the money to the owner to sink into that car. So Motorsports ended up buying that car, and that's how I ended up buying it from my boss. And up until this point, I had only had my 85 Nissan pickup, which was a pile of junk, and then I ended up getting a 96 Corolla manual transmission car. It was kind of fun to drive around, but it was also had really soft suspension and front wheel drive. It was reliable. That was about it. But once I actually got to go drive this E30 kind of on my own out in the country, it was definitely an eye-opening experience. Something that I hadn't really experienced before. So I fell in love with this car, even though it didn't run right at times. And yeah, that's kind of how all that started. And when I was trying to get this car on the road, we had a customer at Motorsports who had a really, really nice white E30 M3, and he was upgrading his suspension at the time. So I actually got his old springs from his E30 M3, and I got to upgrade my shocks to the ones that worked, and I think I put control arm bushings on it, and I got a really nice set of sticky Hankook tires, and that completely changed everything on that car. Eventually I would drive around for a couple of years, and It was kind of like my part-time car or whatever. I got to drive it when I could afford to, and eventually parked it. And but I still had all those good parts on the car, and so I just started looking around for used E30s that I could kind of swap all these parts onto, and eventually found a 85 325E two-door manual that was just sitting in a field. Lady had posted it on Craigslist, and I resurrected that car out of the field and put all my parts on it, and that was my daily driver at that point. The interior was junk, so I stripped it all out, and that's there's a lot more to tell about that car in the future, so I will tell you all about that in future episodes. But yeah, it is now time for photo of the day. Alright, so this one I took at Daytona for the Rolex 24-hour race in 2023. This is sunrise Sunday after the cars had been racing all night, and I was lucky to have this much sunlight, but I had to get as many different photos in before the light went away, because the sun was just shining through like a small crack in the clouds when it came up. And something I like about this photo is the swap shop livery that they ran. I can't remember if it was just for that race or if it was all that season that they ran that livery in that car. But it was kind of like a throwback from the 935 from the 70s. And to get the silhouette of the Corvette and the prototype in there was pretty cool. Kind of give you a little preview how much crazy traffic there is to race around in that race. And I think this photo kind of portrays the almost permanent utopian carnival that is Florida, with the palm tree and the food vendor signs and just kind of that gritty Florida look, I guess. But that's it for today. Please like, subscribe, and share this with your friends, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.